So you are thinking of moving to the west side of Michigan. Well, in this video, we're going to be talking about money and property taxes. Whether you're a renter or whether you're a current homeowner, we're going to talk about how it affects you. We're going to show you what the top taxes are in the west side of Michigan, meaning you're paying the most. We're going to talk about the least property taxes, where you're going to be paying the least, and everything in between. I'm going to go over a spreadsheet that I have and how you can get it. That's going to let you narrow down the counties, narrow down the school districts, and then see what's the highest tax rate, what's the lowest. My name is Eric Frontiero with West Side Michigan Living. Whether you are making a move in 8 days or 80 days, get a hold of us by shooting us a text, shoot us an email, give us a call so we can help you make a smooth move to West Michigan. So as I mentioned, today we're going to be talking about property taxes. And we're going to be talking about, more specifically, millage rates. Now, if you've never heard about millage rates, that's how your property taxes are determined. Every county, every city, and municipality has a millage rate, which goes for things like schools and public services and things like that. And that is the number that they use to figure out your property taxes. Now, this isn't if you've lived in your home for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or a bunch of years. This is more specifically speaking about if you are currently looking to purchase your first home or move and get into a new home where property taxes reset. And then you are looking at, hey, what are the property taxes for living in this area going to be? Now, personally, my wife and I have purchased a lot of homes, lived in a lot of different cities, and this isn't necessarily something that's always high on the list, even though it's on the radar. So at the end, I'm going to go over a couple things that we were caught by so that you can think about them and at least have them in the back of your head as you're navigating West Michigan in different places to live. And what I want to do first is share with you, I have a spreadsheet. And if you want to get a hold of this spreadsheet after this video, again, details are below. Let me know. Do you want a county? Do you want all of the 8 counties that I'm talking about today? Do you want a school district? I can get you, what you're looking for, what you need. Not a problem. Again, information is below. Shoot me a text, shoot me an email. Let me know what you're looking for. I can get it to you. Not a problem. But today I'm going to share my screen and show you the spreadsheet that I am talking about. So here we go. We're going to be taking a look at millage rates and how they relate to taxes that you pay for your home, whether it's, you're paying them 2 times a year, but we're going to look at total values and then kind of break it down into a monthly payment. We know now, in this economy right now, the world we're living in, everything seems to cost more. And if you're like me, if you're like a lot of other people out there watching this video throughout Michigan and the United States, you're going to be taking a look at your budgets, right? What are you spending monthly? What does that look like per year? And if there is differences that you might want to know about, again, in this video, as it relates to living in Ionia compared to Muskegon, compared to somewhere in Kalamazoo, well, then this video is going to help you get a better idea of what that looks like and be able to dig in a little bit deeper. We don't want you to use this if you're looking for a home, don't use this as don't find a place and then use it to say, this is the only place I want to live, because you're putting yourself in a very tiny box. All right. Now this is going to be more useful as it relates to, hey, I want to move to Kent County. What school districts are in Kent County and which ones have the lowest tax rates if all else are equal. So let's get to it and not waste any more time. So we're going to look at, the title of this video is the top 5 lowest tax rates for property taxes in the west side of Michigan. And we're going to look at that more specifically in counties. For instance, if you look at, these are going to be the millage rates right here, the homestead rate. This is if you live in the house. This isn't an investment property, but this is going to be your primary residence and use it as your primary homestead. So that's these rates right here. And then we have county names, which are right here. And then we have the local unit names, which are going to be your cities. And then if a city has a village, which is a little usually at the center of a city. Middleville has a village, so the Thornapple Kellogg School District, but Middleville has a village, which is a little pocket within Middleville. And you're going to see what that does to the tax rates when you have a village. But that's if that we have a village that would go right there. These are the school districts right here. And then again, these are millage rates. These are primary residence. And then this is if you were to use the property as a second residence or an investment property. Right here, we have the home price. I'm using a $300,000 home price. The average in the Grand Rapids area right now is around 330. A little bit above that. So I went a little bit lower. This is going to be higher than in some of the school districts and some of the cities than the average price is there. But I want to compare apples to apples so that you can have a good idea of what that is going to look like across the board for a home that is $300,000. So that is what you're looking at right there. And starting off, number one lowest property taxes you're going to find in Ionia County and in any of these cities right here, Orleans, Berlin, Ionia with Ionia Township schools, not Ionia city schools. So there's little differences that can mean a lot when as it relates to your property taxes. So at a tax rate of a millage rate of 19.94 mills, you might have heard that term thrown around. We got an election coming up here in November, but sometimes those terms are thrown around. Millage rate, not increasing the mills. Well, that is the number they're talking about. This number is actually a lot of smaller numbers that are added up to get to that 19 number. But as it relates to your home price, your estimated taxes are going to be $2,900, about $3,000. And you see these first five here are all going to be similar around that 3,000 number. So number one, we have Ionia. Number two, we have Kent County in Solon. I say Solon. Someone else out there might pronounce it differently. I apologize if I pronounce it incorrectly. I tend to do that with a lot of words and just kind of keep it rolling throughout my life there. So Solon, more specifically in Grant Public Schools, you got a 20, which is going to give you a similar 3,000. So we've hit Ionia, we've hit Kent County. Now we're going to Newaygo with home right there in the Big Jackson School District, again at 20, coming in again at the 3,000 mark. So we have three right there in the 3,000 mark for property taxes. And those are going to be the lowest three. The next one's going to be Ionia. So we're going to group that with the one above. We have one in Montcalm, which is another county northeast of Grand Rapids, out more in the country a little bit. You have Winfield right there. If you go to the Morley School District, the Morley Stanwood Community Schools, you're going to have a 21.9 mills. Which is going to get you a yearly tax of $32.87. So that's number four. And then we're going to top it off with Barry right here as the number five, with Baltimore being the city, and then the Delton Kellogg School District with 22, again, getting you close to that $3,300 property taxes for the year. So that is the top five. Probably not going to be cities or little municipality areas that you've heard of, but those are going to get you the lowest tax rates. Now, more specifically, and even better, what we can do with this spreadsheet is take a look, and I'm going to erase everything that I have going on right here. So we'll get rid of all that. But what we want to take a bigger look into is say that you want to move to West Michigan and you're like, hey, I want to move to Kent County. Well, in this tab right here, I've already sorted out Kent County in terms of the county. And then I've also sorted it out county and then by municipality, local unit name. So if you look at Kent County, what you can do is take a look. Where's the lowest property taxes? And that's going to be right here again, we saw this on the last one, Solon in Grant Public Schools, around 3,000. And then what you can do is say, hey, let's go to the bottom. And who has the highest tax rates in West Michigan and Kent County? And that is going to be right here in Wyoming with the Godfrey Lee Public School District. So If you have a $300,000 house in both of those areas, again, this doesn't mean that 300,000 is the average in these areas, because you're going to find houses for lower than 300,000 in Wyoming, in the Godfrey Lee Public School District. You can find a $300,000 house, but the average can be a little bit lower. But I want to just let you see what the taxes are for keeping the value the same for all of the areas, and then give you that number so you can compare. In this one, you have $7,500 for the year. So that's a difference. So remember, we're at 3,000 in Solon, and then you're at 7,568 in Wyoming in the Godfrey Lee School District. There's a difference of $4,500. We're talking $4,500 in your pocket at the end of the year if you live in Solon versus Wyoming in the Godfrey Lee Public School District. What does that break down to a month? We're talking $376 a month. So $376, we're talking a car payment, we're talking food, we're talking clothes, we're talking heating, cooling, bills for the house. Every dollar needs to go somewhere nowadays, and more often, more dollars need to go to different places. So you can see there is a $4,500 difference between the lowest and the highest school districts and areas in Kent County. So that is going to give you something where you can take a look at county level as a whole. It's kind of like macro. If you want to go and using some words here, if you want to do a high level view, right, you're going to do Kent County. If you want to do more specific in terms of school districts, well, then I've also broken that out. You can take a look right here. It's Thornapple Kellogg in the Middleville area. And what you might not think about is for that school district, and I'm talking school districts now, if you're looking for a house, like, and you have no kids and you're not going to have kids, like, you're not thinking, oh, I need a school district. But it's important because that school district is going to be how your property is taxed, how your home is taxed. So this shows you in the Thornapple Kellogg School District, you have 15 different local units of, cities. Let's just call them cities. And they are in, look at this. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 different counties that they're in. So you're talking 4 counties, let alone 15 different little cities. And 3 of them, and I mentioned villages, well, 3 of them have a village. And you can see right here are the 3 villages, different municipalities, all in Berry County. But you can see what they do to your taxes. Right here, they increase your taxes, meaning the lowest is 30 mills, the highest is 45. Corresponding taxes, $4,500 and $6,800. So, shoot it to me real, Eric, right? Is what you're probably there saying. Get to the point. Point being, one school district, you can live in Allegan County at $4,500 a year for your taxes, or you can live in Berry County, same school district, at $6,800 and pay $2,300 more for your taxes. Now, location can mean a lot to you. The being in the village could mean a lot to you. So some of that might not matter to you, which is at least for you to decide. But this video, I want to get it out there to you so that you know, like, hey, I never knew there was that much of a difference. I mean, that's $192 a month, almost $200 a month difference from one to the other in the school district. So now let's take a look at another one. We're talking Hudsonville School District. Only in Ottawa and Allegan County. And in the Hudsonville School District, you have a 13 right here. You have a $1,300 difference in your property taxes at $112 a month. So even when you don't have 12 different municipalities that can funnel into the school district, you're still talking about $112 a month difference. Now, if you find a house in one versus the other that you absolutely love, is that $112 going to matter? Probably not, and it usually doesn't. But knowing about it going in, just having it top of mind is going to help you out as you're out there looking at homes and thinking about different areas to live in West Michigan. One more example. We got 2 more examples. Zeeland is pulling from 2 different Zeeland school district, pulling from 2 different counties. Lowest taxes right here are at $4,400 in Blendon in Ottawa, and the most highest are going to be $6,300, where if you live in Holland and you're because of where your home is, and you're going to the Zeeland public schools, you're going to pay $6,300 a year. Again, the difference right there, $1,900 at a tune of $159 a month. So real money for you to think about. Again, might not move the needle, might not make the teeter-totter go up or down one way or the other for you if you really love the area, if you love a home, but something for you to think about. And then our final example is going to be in Grand Haven, Michigan, on the Lakeshore. And you have Muskegon and Ottawa counties funneling into the Grand Haven public schools at a rate of, again, $300,000 for the house. Lowest tax amount is going to be $3,700 for a $300,000 house. The highest is going to be $5,600. The difference between the highest and the lowest is, again, around that $1,900 at about $158 a month. So that gives you an idea if you're living in, if you're thinking about living in Muskegon and Norton Shores, or if you're thinking about living in Port Sheldon in Ottawa County versus Muskegon, again, Norton Shores, that's going to be your difference. $160 a month. What could you do with $160? Or does living in Norton Shores trump everything and make you, be okay with living in Norton Shores versus Port Sheldon? Again, all things being equal, home being $300,000. So that is what I have for you today. We'll keep that up. That is what I have for you today. A little tip is that as you look at houses, maybe you're looking for a home, things to consider. When you purchase a home, you purchase it with the taxes of the past owner. That's what they kind of calculate your mortgage amount at. This has happened to us in the past. What I'm going to be talking about is when you purchase a home, look at the number I'm giving you as an estimate and keep that in mind, because your taxes you pay per month are more than likely, if not 100% of the time, very close to that, are going to be less than the monthly amount that I'm showing you in this spreadsheet. Now, what that is going to create is a year later, it's going to get reevaluated, and they're going to say, wait a second, you're number one, you're not paying enough. In number two, more specific, really what it's going to come down to is number two, they're going to say you don't have enough in your reserve because you were paying lower than you should have. Don't ask me why it's that way, but that just tends to be what they do. So what they're then going to do is say, you know what, you're not going to pay $350 a month. We need you to pay, number one, you're behind. So we're going to need you to catch up. And then you're going to need to build a buffer in your tax reserves. So they're going to make you pay even more potentially. So point being, know your taxes, know your millage rates, know the highest amount it could possibly be. Keep that in mind as you're looking around the west side of Michigan for, again, whether you're renting, whether you're owning right now, all important information. Keep in your mind, keep in the back of your head so that moving forward, you can have the best data, the best knowledge, and basically eyes open so that you can go ahead and say, all right, does this really matter? Number one, it might not matter. Does this matter? Number one, if it doesn't, awesome. If it does, use this to get you where you want to be and at least pick some areas where you want to be. Use it to get a group of 5 areas, because if you just focus on one, more than likely you're going to miss out if you're just trying to pinpoint the absolute lowest, because in some of these areas, it only changes by $100, $200, per area. So if you want this spreadsheet, let me know, shoot me an email, shoot me a text, give me a call, and I can get this out to you. It's sortable, and I don't have a problem doing that. And I would honestly love to get this out to you so that you have the knowledge that I didn't have. We're talking a while ago now, but want to provide value. If you got value in the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so that you can be the first to know when I am maybe in a different city. We have some other videos where we're in the field doing vlogs, where I'm doing map videos. But this one, again, I wanted to bring you some real life money to the conversation about the west side of Michigan, because everybody's wallets nowadays potentially stretched a little thin, and wanted to get you the data as soon as possible. So again, this information is for 2021. But I hope to see you in another video. If you see me on the streets, give me a high five, give me a fist bump, and I will see you in the next town, in the next city, and in the next video. Have a good day.